Massive day for the unemployed, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, it's gonna get really wild and insane with today's video. You see, on this channel, we've talked about how corporations become incredibly greedy consistently over and over again, doing the most insane things to screw over customers and consumers on a almost daily basis. But the one that's taking the cake has to be Nintendo. You gotta love it, because after the last 6 months of the Switch 2 being announced to release and everything else in between, we've seen Nintendo do everything they possibly can to grab every red cent out of your actual pocket simply because they feel they deserve it. And what's even stranger is some people actually believe they, in fact, deserve every red cent out of your pocket. We've talked about how Nintendo has raised the actual price of video games to $80, at the same time introducing variable rate pricing, which means that if they feel the game is going to sell well, it's not going to be $70. It'll be $80, maybe even more at sometimes, because there's no ceiling, but there definitely is a floor apparently. And to make matters even worse, while doing all of that, they then increased the price of the Nintendo Switch 1, basically because of market conditions, to go ahead and make the Switch 2 seem more appealing to purchase instead. You gotta love the insanity. But the thing is, it's gotten, in fact, even worse, because Nintendo is now locking away basic features that are in every single video game behind amiibos. No, I'm not kidding. According to Insider Gaming, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond locks basic feature behind a $30 amiibo. Okay, no, what are we even doing here? Yes, buy this useless piece of plastic, and if you don't, we're going to lock away other types of content from you that are basically inside every single video game ever, unless you buy this thing specifically. And I know there's going to be people in the comments section all rating this part of the video. You can actually unlock it if you play the game. We're going to debunk that as well, because honestly, it's gotten to the point where things are getting so absolutely ridiculous of how Nintendo is trying to squeeze every single penny out of your pocket. It really goes to show this company truly is the most shameless, the most greedy, and the most disrespectful company in the video game space. But let's go over the article and see what's actually locked behind a $30 amiibo, shall we? The article by Insider Gaming says this: as pointed out by Luke Stevens on Twitter, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond's music in the desert, an area explored while driving the Viola bike, is absent unless you purchase the $29.99 Samus amiibo. Nintendo's product description lists background music as a perk from owning the Samus amiibo, along with the ability to activate a shield that will block up to 99 damage and fully restore Samus's life once per day. The description doesn't inform you, however, that without the amiibo figure, the desert landscape in Metroid Prime 4 Beyond will be eerily silent and offers nothing if you haven't splashed out on the figure. Here's a tweet from Andre saying this: I genuinely think the desert would have been at least 3 times better if they had put some banging music behind it, but it just feels so vapid. Hashtag Metroid Prime 4. Well, Andre, they did put music for the desert area when you're riding your bike through the desert. The difference is you're going to have to shell out $30 for a plastic toy if you actually want to go ahead and have the music for that zone. Imagine DLC and cut content like we had back in the 360 days. Instead of just having a character missing or some skins beyond that, what you're getting now is, if you don't spend the extra money, they're just simply going to cut away actual features in the game that should have been there in the first place. Oh, did you want background music for the video game you already spent $70 for? Yeah, I don't think so, Scooter. $30, little man. Put that in my hand. If you don't, then you owe me, my jungle love. Oh, I really wanna know ya. Yeah. But yeah, this whole thing is an absolute travesty and actual trash fire. The fact that Metroid Prime 4 costs what it does, took as long as it did, and at the same time, they're now asking you for $30 additional in order to go ahead and have background music in a video game that should already have the music in the first place to buy a toy truly is absurd to me, and how people are trying to defend this game in any sense of the word, or even defend Nintendo's practices, is actually even more insane than ever. In fact, here's Luke Stevens' own tweet. Luke Stevens on Twitter said this: "Let me get this straight. If you pay $29.99 for the collectible Samus Amiibo in Metroid Prime 4, you get to play/select music while driving the Viola bike in the otherwise quiet desert. In other words, they locked music while riding through a desert behind a $30 paywall. Am I missing something that makes this not insane?" No, Luke, you're not insane. I'm sitting in that exact same boat with you. I've seen companies do the most egregious pricing and monetization practices that I've actually ever seen. And if it was any other company doing this, they would have been raked through the coals across the entire internet. Yet for some reason, Nintendo gets a pass. They get the defense. People sit there and make any excuse to defend this company at every conceivable turn, simply because they have the IPs that people grew up with and enjoy. And if you don't believe me, watch this. Mr. Eerie on Twitter said this: "Do you even research what you claim, or do you just go ahead first because the truth is less important than the blue check?" Posting a picture of the actual information from other websites and an AI return, saying this: "Yes, you can unlock the music in the desert area of Metroid Prime 4 by achieving a 100% scan rate and finding every item in the game. But this requires significant effort. Otherwise, the music is only available through the purchase of the Samus Amiibo." Okay, all right, no. I have to be living in Bizarro world where I've got a dude online pretending to act like he's tipping his fedora and he understands what's exactly going on, and he's trying to defend Nintendo from all the mean people on the internet and defend Milady's honor by going around and posting that if you don't want to spend the $30, you have to find every single item and have 100% scan completion in the game before you get music in a zone. I should have already had the music. Oh my God. Listen, this has got to be the most ridiculous cell phone I've actually ever seen. These dudes going around defending this company in every single sense of the word has to be the most insane thing to actually watch. The fact that Nintendo decided to take this approach really goes to show they don't care about you. They don't care about their IPs. All they care about is how much money they can squeeze out of your pockets while grabbing you by your ankles, tipping you upside down like Roger Klotz and Doug, and shaking out every shekel from your back pockets. That's what's happening with this company. Anybody else that would have done this in the gaming space would have been lambasted across every conceivable facet, and yet people still wonder, why do PC gamers go around and try to emulate Nintendo games? Why do so many people on the internet just hate Nintendo? It's all blind hate. It's all misinformation. No, it's literally a company that people grew up with, that people enjoyed for the longest time, turning around and spitting in their faces consistently, simply because that company doesn't understand what is in fact happening right now and how to actually market to proper consumers. Try to sit there and lock basic functionality in a video game behind the paywall of a Amiibo is honestly insane. Hell, even friend of the channel Delta was able to find out that if you just simply take the box of the Amiibo and tap it onto the actual Switch 2, you still get the content. So you don't even have to buy it. You can just go to the store and be like, tap, done, good to go, baby. So why even do that in the first place? Why lock it behind the actual Amiibo? Why lock it behind 100% completion? Just put the music in the goddamn game. I wouldn't have a problem if it was like a Zero Suit skin, right? If it was like that, or something just simply cosmetic. What Nintendo is doing now is just turning around and saying, hey, you gave us $70, but the game is not complete. You got to give us $30 more for a piece of plastic to get the actual complete game, because hell, We got to make money somehow, right? No, that's not how this works. And all people are doing by defending this is just letting Nintendo know that they can keep getting away with it. First it was game key cards, not giving you the fucking game on the actual cart, and now it's not getting a game complete at all, even when you spend the whole kind of money. But if you want to talk about Nintendo defense, it's getting even crazier because of the fact that right now, apparently, you can actually emulate Metroid Prime 4 on Switch 1 emulators. But there's a catch. Senhor Linguica on Twitter said this: from what everything indicates, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond doesn't work on Nintendo Switch emulators. It seems to be some issue related to audio emulation. I'll update you all as soon as I have more information. Now, with this information, what do you think happened online? Do you think people were like, oh, that's kind of cool, neat, I guess they're going to be working on that to fix it? Or do you think that people were clapping like seals because other people couldn't get to play a video game on an emulator? It's the second option. They were clapping like seals. Let's go! Nintendo Prime with the quote tweet said this: oh no, I am trembling that pirates can't play Metroid Prime 4 before launch without buying a legal copy and playing it on Switch or Switch 2. Ah, LOL. Yes, this will get sorted one day, but LOL. You know what's actually funny? Dudes like Nintendo Prime are exactly the reason why Nintendo is really trying to you on a consistent basis with no lube, asking you to bite the pillow because they're going in dry every single time. The dude will go out and spend all that money, buy the amiibos, give the signal to these companies that yes, he's more than willing to spread his cheeks so you can go to town every single time a new game in fact drops. This dude trying to walk around and pretend as if he's better than everybody else because he spends all that money on the video game and all those filthy pirates don't, really is the more insane thing. The only one who looks like a clown is you, Nintendo Prime, because literally 8 hours later after that post was made, they got it working. It's already working. There's the fix. It's already done. Literally in less than 24 hours, they've already got the audio fixed and it's already up online, ready to go at any specific time. Do you see how stupid you look? Do you see how dumb you sound? Do you see how idiotic you are for sucking off a company and corporation, going down the shaft all the way to the balls, simply because you dislike Nintendo oh so much and they just make you happy? If you had 2 ounces of testosterone in your goddamn body, you would realize that, hey, maybe I should criticize this company instead of sucking them off like Belladonna on a bender. Here's Juiceman Vaughn on Twitter saying this: the Broke Bum Squad is having technical difficulties with a stolen game instead of paying for it like regular people do. Every time it's Nintendo Prime, Juiceman Vaughn, and the next one you're going to see after this one. The 3 stooges of the internet, always sucking off Nintendo. You got to buy your game. Why don't you buy your game and support the developers? Those same developers who went around and decided to cut the fucking music from the game in the first place to sell it back to you from an amiibo. That's what we're going to do right now, calling people broke and bums simply because all Nintendo has to do is put the game on the actual PC and it would sell like hotcakes even more. But they said you guys are so wrapped around Miyamoto's little finger that the guy could fart downwind and you'd sniff it up like a hog and shit. The ridiculous behavior of these dudes knows no actual bounds. The actual idea and fact that they think they're better than other people simply because they're more willing to go ahead and get by a company and corporation on a consistent basis really is the more insane thing to see, because all that's going to be happening is you're going to be seeing this across every single piece of landscape. Oh, you didn't buy the game at $100? What are you, broke? Oh, you didn't buy the $2,000 GPU? What are you, a brokey? Yeah, I'm broke and I'm proud to be broke. I'd rather be broke than be a corporate on a daily basis. Here's Valerie Momo on Twitter saying this: you know what does work though? Playing the game on the actual hardware legally. I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose it. It's every single time with these dudes. Oh, we buy our games legally. Who cares? Honestly, who fucking cares? The only people that care is Nintendo themselves. And all they're gonna do is bend you over a barrel and try to squeeze out every penny from your back pocket like we've talked about every single time before. You trying to take a moral high ground to make yourself feel above other people because you're willing to give a corporation more of your hard-earned money is not something to parade around as if you're better than than others. All it tells everybody else is you're nothing more than a pay pig. You're probably the same kind of guy who buys a girl's OnlyFans because you want to support her endeavors through college of getting her IT degree. I bet that's the kind of guy you are too, right? I swear, my lady, if I give you $500 more today, you'll be able to go through and pay off your student loans. That's you, bro. That is literally you. I bought the game legally, played on the hardware legally. All of you clowns are nothing more than actual for a company and corporation, as that same company and corporation gives you less every single time, and then they ask you for more money by giving you less of everything, cutting out music, increasing prices, not even giving you games on the key cards, and you guys bend over, touch your toes, and spread them wide open, asking for another every single time. And you know what? It's honestly pathetic, because if the only thing you have over people is that you spend more money than they do, all it goes to show is you're nothing more than a brainwashed little piglet. Oink, oink, piggy. Pay up. Look, this is absolutely, honestly ridiculous. And the scariest part about all of this is the fact that people are, in fact, still defending Nintendo and these practices. They're still trying to defend Nintendo from piracy. They're still trying to defend Nintendo from any sort of criticism, even 6 months after the Switch 2's launch. And every single time, what these exact same people do is they'll call people like myself and many others grifters, or they'll say things like you're spreading misinformation, rather than just going around and looking at the actual facts and saying, oh, this company's trying to screw me on every conceivable facet. These exact same content creators that go around and kiss the feet of Miyamoto and even Nintendo and Mario on a consistent basis would have far greater viewership, far more subscribers if they simply did the one thing they're never inclined to actually do, and that is criticize the one company that they actually love and enjoy. But the thing is this, I don't think they can, because the thing is, if they actually cared about and enjoyed the games that Nintendo made, they would be in fact criticizing what Nintendo is doing. I think what they want to do is keep everything as smooth as possible. They can keep making their suck off Nintendo content and keep going around and calling everybody else a grifter simply because we're calling those things out, and we're showing how in fact Nintendo is screwing over not only them as a consumer, but also setting a precedent for the entire gaming industry. We've seen how people have talked about how GTA 6 could be $100 and they'll still be happy to spend that money. We've seen people walk around and spend the $80 on Mario Kart World and claim that it's a good value. We've seen Xbox and so many others push their games to $80 because monkey see, monkey fucking do. And now what's going to be happening if this continues is watching Nintendo fanboys lap up every single piece of slop being dropped down their way while going around and accepting every horrible business practice from this company as well, which means that other companies will see this too and then emulate that specifically. It's going to over me and everybody else who doesn't want to give companies more money but wants a full complete product out of the gate for $60 fucking already. Which games shouldn't be $60 either, they should be $49.99. Because there's already way too many examples of games at that price point completely outclassing everything at the higher price as well. And it really is absurd to see people putting on this defense. Like I said before, if it was any other company, they would be getting dragged through the dirt by every single major outlet. But no, that's not happening because Nintendo apparently has to be protected at all costs. But not here, baby. No, not here. As Nintendine put it in his own video, you're basically looking at a jacked George Clooney screaming at you about Nintendo fucking over a consumer and customer. And baby, I'll be here to do it as long as I possibly can. Shout out to the homie Nintendine. Good job, by the way. Keep it up. But that's honestly exactly why I'm so upset about this entire thing. Seeing the potentiality of actual companies and corporations follow Nintendo's footsteps is going to screw over the entire gaming industry. Not only that, but we're also seeing how bad it's getting with things like RAM pricing, console price increases, and everything else across the board. And the lack of ownership in video games isn't getting any better. Stop defending these companies and corporations. They're not your friends. They're not sitting here doing what's best for you. They're doing what's best for their shareholders and their pocketbooks. And when people finally wake up, that's when we'll finally see some actual change. But you know what? I want to hear what you guys have to say about this in the comments section down below. Did you pick up Metroid Prime 4? Are you going to be acquiring that game in some other ways as well? Or are you just going to completely skip it altogether? I want to hear what you guys have to say. If you want to see more of this kind of content, though, more PC port reviews, gaming news, Steam Deck videos, fanboy content, and my hot takes in the gaming industry, subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 98K, and I just have to say thank you guys so very much. If you want Discord access or most during live streams, become a YouTube member. It's as low as $1. If you don't want to spend the buck, don't sweat it. Just show up right here on this channel live every Saturday night, 8:45 p.m. Eastern, as I live stream in front of 800 people wearing a banana suit getting insulted with TTS. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. 8:45 p.m. Eastern, live right here on the channel. With all that being said, though, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you have a great one, and I'll see you gooners next time. Peace!